Alright, welcome to the mushroom house. I'm Brooke Brown with Brown Deer Farm, and we grow vegetables and fruits. I've been doing that for some time, but I've always kind of really, Scott behind the camera here has always had a passion for mushrooms, and we're kind of expanding the farm a little bit this year with mushrooms, so we thought we'd just kind of show you. Right now the lighting's beautiful, the mushrooms are absolutely gorgeous, and there's a lot to see right now. Everything's kind of working in the succession, so we thought we'd show you what was going on today. So these are some mushrooms. These are some oyster mushrooms. These are on their second fruiting. These are grown on wheat straw. We pack, we make the bales, we inoculate everything ourselves. We have a lab and do the grain spawn and everything. But this is the fruiting room, and this is where we spend a lot of time. It's where I spend a lot of time. Scott spends a lot of time in the lab. I spend a lot of time in here. And you can see these mushrooms are fruiting now. I'll pick these tomorrow, box them up, hopefully sell them in Chattanooga. These are on their second fruiting, so everything's fruited already once. From here, everything, this is the oldest stuff we've got. This is stuff that was inoculated on November 8th. And we've already picked it once before. As soon as we pick them once, we move them all down to the door. As soon as I pick these tomorrow, I'll take all these out, and they're done. They'll be going by the compost pile, and we'll start composting these bales tomorrow. They'll be done. The mycelium will have eaten everything of nutrients to it, and it'll just be, they won't fruit anymore. So once we get these out, I'll slide everything down, and you can kind of see, if you get close over here, you can see everything on this, in this middle patch here, is starting to fruit again on the second run as well. We got some little pins starting to come out. They're really nice. They're forming really good little clusters. These were inoculated on the same day, but sometimes they stagger a little bit. So these in a few days will look like these, and we'll pick them as well and just move everything on out. So as we go down to the middle here, we have some later days. I can't really see here. So we have these a week later. On the 15th, then these got inoculated, and these are also starting to fruit again as well. They've already been picked once. And then as we get down towards the end of the greenhouse, right about here, 11:15, this was a late bloomer of this patch. These are just now starting to fruit. These have not fruited before. We have not picked these bales. These are the beginning of the first cycle. So everything in this greenhouse will have two cycles, two fruitings, two flushes. We'll pick those, go back to the door, they're done, then these start to form. So it's kind of working out beautifully in the succession right now. These from here back have been inoculated on 11/23, so about a month ago. Slightly a little over a month ago. We have two different varieties, two different strains. They're both pearl oyster, but they're a winter-loving pearl oyster. This one is a native oyster to this valley. We live in the Sequatchie Valley, and this is actually a native oyster from around here. And this is a strain we purchased and have been cultivating since September. You can see they're just going to get bigger and bigger every day, and as you come down even here, you'll see these are just now starting to fruit as well. So this is their first pinning. These clusters are a few days apart. They grow extremely fast, so they'll get to here, and these we'll probably pick these in 2 days, 2 or 3 days. The ones these will probably be picked in about a week. The ones you're looking at now. And the ones next to them, we'll probably pick those in a couple of days. And I wish I'd have waited to show you guys. I cut a bag off just about half an hour ago. This is the bag I cut off. So as you can see behind me on this row, everything's still in their bags. And once they start to fruit out of the holes that are already drilled into the bags, we will cut the bags off, expose them to more oxygen, and they'll start to fruit everywhere. That's just how we do it. There's a lot of different ways to fruit mushrooms. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. If it works for you, it works great. And this is just the way we found to work out best for us in our situation. We try and recycle as many things as possible. And these bags have worked out to be pretty good. They're doing the job. They're a little more labor intensive than, say, polytubing, which you might see and other mushroom farms. But this is free and available to us, so this is what we're using. We sterilize everything before we inoculate, so the bags are they are cleaned very well before we do use them, and they're all food grade. They've had food grain in them, brewery grain and stuff like that. Everything on the bottom shelf is what we've done the most recently. So these were all done 5 days ago. We're actually on Christmas Day right now. It's the 25th. And these were done 5 days ago on the 20th. And then these were done a week before that, roughly 7 to 8 days. These were done the 14th of December. Right above us here, we have the 12th of December. And these were done on the 1st of December. And then the ones we were just now looking at that are fruiting, those were done November 23rd, so almost a month ago. So every week, we're cutting roughly 10 bags off. We're roughly cycling out 10 bales, and everything just kind of moves in a succession. There's usually, 10 bales a week to start to fruit. We've seen pens anywhere from 14 days to 28 days, so it just depends on the weather, depends on the cycle. They're starting to slow down a little bit due to the cold, but they'll all start fruiting again on the same cycle and be within a week of each other. Again, this is a maximum capacity, and this week we will start to double everything we're doing. So we'll be picking roughly 20 bales a week, as opposed to 10, what we're doing, or 20 bags a week, as opposed to 10. So that cycle starts tomorrow, so we have another greenhouse to hopefully get up as soon as we can and grow this part of the operation a little bit. Other mushrooms that we would like to grow in the future would include lion's mane and shiitake. And we do have a couple shiitake logs right now. It is December 25th, and we've got some shiitakes starting to flower down here, starting to fruit out. These, however, will not be for sale at the market. These are going to be our little gems. We're going to eat all these and cook them up with people and enjoy them, because they're something very special. We've had these logs for almost 2 years. Scott inoculated these 2 years ago, roughly, with a good friend of ours. And this is the first year they've really started to fruit heavily. And this is actually the second fruiting we've had this year. We had a little bit, we had a good bit in the spring, and then we so we soaked them in some water, and then brought them back into the greenhouse here on these cold days. And they're starting to fruit really nicely. And so in the future, look for more shiitakes, and definitely some oysters at the local markets and in your local restaurants as well.
Mm-mm.